Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. This is your host, Dr. B, where the guest this week is me. I am the guest of my own show, Flying Solo. In this episode, I discuss unlocking wealth, investing passively in real estate. It's a recording from my webinar back on May 21st. Enjoy. Hi everybody, welcome to the webinar this evening. I'm Dr. B, Dr. Harold Borja. So Unlocking Wealth, the passive investor's guide to real estate. Amazing opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about me and about what it is as far as investing in real estate. So thank you for everyone. Thank you for Joe pointing that out. Hey, Anita, we got a lot of great people here. Who knew? Great people supporting. So without further ado, I am going to share my screen, right? So good. So as any questions you may have, you can just type in the chat, okay? So it's set up as a webinar for that reason. So this is also going to be recorded for those who can attend, and is also going to, I'm probably going to end up posting it as a podcast, right? So cool. All right. So let's start, okay? Cool. All right, so welcome to Unlocking Wealth, the passive investor's guide to real estate. So thank you everyone for being here. I know I strong arm some of you guys to be here tonight, but I'm very, very happy that you guys are all here. Unlocking Wealth, the passive investor's guide to real estate. Okay, so let me continue. So wanted to quick quotes that I got. Shout out to Amy Majuri for this. So the more money works for you, the less you have to work for money, right? And also Warren Buffett says to save is to put your money to rest, invest is putting your money to work, right? And that's what we're all here tonight to learn about, okay? Excellent. So quick disclaimer, really quickly, the following information is for educational purposes today. We will not provide any financial, legal, professional advice. We will introduce you to strategies we use, but they may not apply to your personal situation. So always speak to your team or a team of professionals before applying any of the strategies learned today, right? So had to put that out there, put my legal disclaimer, because I don't want you guys coming after me saying, oh, but Dr. B told me that, nice, right? So very important when it comes to that, right? And as I see the participants climbing, right? So how is this everything, how is this different from everything you've seen before, right? So, full transparency. Yeah, my partner Joel and I, which I'll discuss a little bit about him in a minute. So we do have something in the Dominican Republic right now, but in addition to that, we also have a 6 unit that we have under contract in Madera Beach, Florida. It's a nice subject to. We're taking over the mortgage, and in addition to that, we don't have to come with all the money down. We come down with a certain percentage down, right? So that's how this thing is different from everything else you've seen, because we have the credibility, the instant credibility out the gate, right? So that's how this webinar is different from anything you've ever seen in your life, right? So very important. I had to establish that credibility out the gate. In addition to that, like, what's in it for you, right? So why even be here, right? So of course, besides me strong arming you, right? As an example, how would it look, right, if you make double-digit returns backed by real estate without lifting a finger, right? I gave you an example on the screen here. So that's what's in it for you, right? So out the gate, I'm building instant credibility. And number two, what's in it for you? You're making a certain percentage off on average, investment, as an example of 100K without lifting a finger, right? So very, very important here, right? So that's what's in it for you, right? So hopefully by me establishing credibility out the gate and understanding what's in it for you, now we could chat, right? As they say, right? Good. So I wanted to tell you my story. I'll tell you a little bit about Joel's story as well, right? So there's a lot of bullets here. I'm not going to read it to every single one. I have 20 years of experience in higher ed and financial services and in business. I've had my LLC, Borja Consulting Group, for about 5 years. I am the host of my own podcast. I do Daniela, my partner in crime with the Chamber, and she's on here helping me facilitate the chat. I also oversee the entrepreneurship programs at the Hispanic Chamber. I do have my DBA from Wall University, and in addition to that, I do have, with my mom, invest passive in a deal in Louisiana and under contract and sign in Florida. And thanks to Joel, and I'll discuss him in a minute, we have something in DR. And I'm mentored by Amy Majuri, Sean McNichols. Shout out to Caesar, who's here from the group. And also mentored by Mike Elia and Mika Whitley out of the Big Deal Maker group, right? So it's a little bit about me. I'm also a big wrestling fan of pro wrestling, as you can tell by the belts and stuff in the background, right? So some goals between Joel and I: want to own 100 units in 12 to 18 months. Want to get into a little bit about notes and helping bail folks out of pre foreclosure. Want to, him and I also want to be capital partners and us be the bank. Want to write a second book. And I definitely would, at some point, I thought about it and it's still on the fence. Take the Dr. B show on TV, on the show, on the road via TV, and at some point as well own a boutique hotel of my own, and I already have the name, right? So, really quickly about my partner Joel. Shout out to Joel. He's on the line here. Has 20 years of experience in higher ed. He's an education consultant and he advises with colleges and universities with top of the funnel marketing, which includes digital and social media. Our partnership with AI Media. His family's been involved with multifamily properties and real estate. He's very passionate in filmmaking, and he is the owner of Catalina Tropical Lounge in the Dominican Republic. So shout out Joel. Thank you for being here this evening and allowing me to lead the charge, as they say, right? So that's Joel.
Are you looking to take your professional network to new heights? Do you want to connect with influential individuals, open doors to exciting opportunities, and accelerate your career growth? Look no further. Introducing our groundbreaking online course on networking mastery, Transforming Your Way to Success. It's an 8-week course. It'll transform you from a novice to a guru. You'll learn the elevator pitch. You'll learn the Formea method. You will learn exactly how to identify leads and being able to leverage your network to network your way to success. Please go to BorjaConsultingGroup.com. That's BorjaConsultingGroup.com for more information about transforming your way to success.
So how do I know it's real, right? So how do you know that this is real, right? That I'm not fugazi, that this is not fake, right? So how do I know this is real, right? So talking to Joel for a couple of years, he's like a brother to me, know him for about 20 years. How do I know, this is real, right? Being mentored, and Caesar and we have the same mentor, Amy Majuri, right? So how do I know it's real? Because I know it is, right? Because I know I've talked to the Amy's, to the Sean's, to the Mo's, Maurice of the world, and I know that it's possible, right? And it is possible to invest not just actively, but also invest passively, right? And just because you don't own a single family or a multifamily, but you could own other stuff in real estate, items in real estate. That's how I know it's real, right? And we'll discuss that more throughout this presentation, right? So cool. So I got this from online, right? So comparing single family and multifamily as an example, right? So Joel and I like multifamily, so the rents are higher, the turnover is a little higher, the maintenance cost a little bit higher, but the ROI, you get a more bang for your buck on multifamily, and the financial costs, believe it or not, are lower. Right? It's only one roof, only one infrastructure, some cases one boiler, right? So the financing costs are lower, and the vacancy it's a little bit lower, right? So as an example, even if it's a single family, it's 100% occupied, right? But however, with a multifamily, right? If one person is not there, you still have 75% occupancies, right? So it's not as bad, right? So the risk is very diversified there, right? I stole this from Cindy, who's actually helping me trying to raise money for the deal in Florida. So shout out to Cindy. I know she was going to join us this evening. So as an example, when it comes to benefits of multifamily versus single family, you could see here and I stole this she stole it and I stole it from her, right? So we just keep borrowing from each other, right? So as you can see, with a single family is 800 in income, but in a 4-unit, as you can tell, is 3,200 in income, right? And even with vacancy, all right, your house will be empty, right, on a single family. But even if you have one vacant, you still have multiple streams of income coming from other places, right? So very important when it comes to, multifamily. So shout out to Cindy for that, right? So it's all but true, right? All but therefore. And that's why, Joel and I like multifamily, right? So this is quickly a couple of things. So how do we find deals, right? So this is just something that I got online, right? So believe it or not, in the first quarter, 67,657 properties were foreclosed, right? So why do I mention that, right? So over 100 plus foreclosures since January 1st, 2024, right? So up 22% in Florida, which is one of our markets, up 43%, which is in New Hampshire, up 26% in Illinois, up 21% in Rhode Island, and 16% in Nevada, right? So the reason why I bring this to your attention, and you'll learn later on in the presentation, how do we evaluate deals? We definitely don't just bank on a commercial broker or an agent. There's a lot of different ways for us to get deals, right? So, for example, Caesar and I, who's on the call, we're part of a mastermind RPM, right? I think Cindy's on the call from the Big Deal Maker, so I get deals from that mastermind. We also I'm also part of a mailing list for any deals from other brokers, right? I also connect with a lot of general contractors, and they sometimes send me stuff. I'm also in connection with making sure that I look at the county's websites as far as foreclosure and see what's coming up in order to see what's available there, right? So a lot of different ways that we evaluate and look for deals, and we'll discuss that more in the presentation. But however, just wanted to give you a quick stat. Yes, there is a rise in foreclosures, but it's up to folks like Daniela, like me, like Joelle, like Caesar, like Anita, or whoever's on the call right now to say, hey, look, we're ready to, we could be able to either bail these folks out pre-foreclosure, or if it's already in foreclosure, get stuff, pennies on the dollar, as they say, right? So wanted to give you that stat. So what's holding you back, right? So for a lot of folks, they've probably invested in the stock market or has spoken to a financial advisor who's probably burned them before. You've probably had some type of failed business, right? And you probably had some failed returns. You see it, you feel it, you taste it, and then you're like, I don't know if I could go through this again, right? So I understand that. I've been there, done that, right? So I've been burned by different programs that supposedly is a magic bullet for speaking, or the magic bullet for financial stuff, or the magic bullet for your business. And I know I've been there, done that, right? Some programs have done very well for me, and other programs have not, right? So I know all about that, right? So one thing about me is my reputation, and I know, shout out to Joe Herrera, who's also on the call, who's been, trusted me, like, with his insurance when I was, because I also do that too. So, so at least thank you for the trust. Thank you everyone for the trust, for that matter, right? So what's holding you back? So, I know you've been burned before. I know you think the stock market is the only way to go, but there's other ways, right? My mentor says a lot of ways to get to 100, right? A lot of ways that you could make money, right? So I understand that. What's holding you back? But hopefully today I'll be able to at least, if not change your mind, at least be able to expand your mind, as they say, right? So understanding, us versus them, right? So, for a lot of folks here, you may have a 9 to 5, right? You may not, right? You may be tired of your 9 to 5, right? You may be living check to check, or somewhat check to check, and you could be in a rat race where, you get up, take your kids to school, go to work, pick them up from school, and do that over and over and over again, right? And just living off your W-2. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad life. But I know that Joel and I want to live more than that, right? It's not about the rat race, right? And it's about being helping getting out the rat race, right? And building that generational wealth for years and years to come, not just for our kids, but our kids' kids, et cetera, right? So we're tired of the 9 to 5. We're tired of check to check. We're tired of the rat race, and that's why I'm doing this webinar tonight, right? We have over 18 folks in the room, right? Well, plus the folks that are coming on later on, plus the folks that are going to watch the recording, right? So we could all be outside. I have a patio. It's 80-degree weather. I could easily be grilling right now, but we're here trying to learn how to invest passively and how to really make money, and how to break that cycle and get out of that rat race, right? So I know that. Thanks for being here, and I know it's going to put you in a better spot today, and I'll discuss the end in a little bit, right? And it'll allow you to be capable of doing things that you've never been able to grasp before, right? So very important. So us versus them, wanted to bring that to your attention, okay? So who's to blame, right? School, yeah, like I went to Thomas Edison High School. I went to vocational school, right? Originally I was to be an electrician, and eventually I decided to go into business, right? After that, right? It could be school, it could be job, it could be life, it could be situational, right? A lot of times, and I do a financial literacy class for Hudson County Community College, and I've done it for a couple of high schools, right? So I don't think it's not taught enough, the idea of building generational wealth in school, and budgeting, and how, like, time is the most precious asset, right? So if someone puts away like $100 or $50 as an 18-year-old, by the time they're 65, they're a millionaire, right? So very important to, and I don't think a lot of folks are taught enough of that here, right? So that's going to change today, right? That last bullet that you see there, it's if you read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, discusses there's four quadrants: job, self-employment, which is kind of what I'm in, the self-employment, but also I'm a business owner, and then investor, right? So we want to be able to not just make money actively in what we do, but also want to make money passively, right? How cool would it be if for Caesar, I'm sorry to tease on Caesar, right? How if you were able to, when you go to bed tonight or in a week, being able to say, hey, look, I just got an alert. Someone booked my short-term rental Airbnb, and you get that every night, right? And you're not even doing much. You're facilitating, you're quarterbacking, making sure that you're promoting it on Expedia, on Hotwire, or whatever, and then you're also making sure that you're promoting it correctly, and you're also making sure that the cleaners are there on a day-to-day basis. Besides that. That takes what, 10 or 15 minutes, and that's it. And then, right? So you want to be able to get to a point where it's a choice that you want to make, that you're not forced to work, that it's just a choice that you want to work, right? So that's who to blame. But you know what? We're enough of the blame game, right? So that's going to change tonight, okay? You feel me? So why now? So why this moment, right? So I showed you the stats in regards to foreclosure. I showed you us versus them, right? So why now, right? Did you know that 90% of all millionaires are made from real estate investments, right? Including our one of our ex-presidents, right? So there's a fear of missing out, right? And there's a lot of different ways to get to 100, right? So there's the investing passively, which I'm discussing today. There's income, right? You could have a single family for cash flow, a multifamily for cash flow. There's fix and flip. There's a multifamily. There's notes, there's short-term rental, mid-term rental, long-term rental, traditionally through there's hotels. So there's a lot of different ways for you to get to 100. And there's a lot of different ways in real estate you could be a millionaire, right? So that's a little bit about why now, right? So great opportunity in the market. We have a lot of folks, unfortunately, going through foreclosure, and that's where you could take advantage and purchase distressed properties, and then be able to turn that around and really build up your portfolio. So that's why now, right? All right. So why should I trust you? I know you're thinking about it. Why should I trust you, right? So, who am I exactly, right? I know you know me as the diehard wrestling fan, diehard Mets fan, even though they're doing terribly this year, right? But, why should you, I know you're asking yourself, why should I trust you, right? And my story is really simple, right? So, mom and dad came from Colombia, parents divorced, my mom remarried, and eventually I worked at a higher educational institution where I met Joelle. And eventually, once I got my doctorate, I took a leap of faith. And unfortunately, when I took that leap of faith, COVID happened the next year. So, I was resilient. It was tough at the moment, right? I actually collected unemployment for a bit, but I was able to overcome that. And now I was able to eventually land a couple of clients. I connected with Carlos Medina. Daniela knows the story, and the rest is history. And now I have a couple of stable clients, and then now I have the deal with Joelle and DR, God willing, and I'm hopefully the deal in Florida as well, and then passively with mom in Louisiana, right? So that's why I think you should trust me, right? So, and of course, I've helped dozens and dozens of businesses over the past 5 years, whether it's through the chamber, whether it's through other nonprofits. And that's my story, right? So my story is about being able to help the Hispanic community, to help the minority community get ahead and look at other ways in order to get to 100. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. I got some. I'm not checking my phone. Thanks, man. So that's why you should trust me, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks. I just got some positive reinforcement. So how does it work, right? So you guys are asking yourself, okay, how does this work? How does it work? And I'll tell you how it works right now, right? So basically what Joel and I do is we look at either distressed homes, foreclosure solutions. We look at tax liens, and we actually connect with tired landlords or sometimes try to inherit properties, right? So the passive investing process allows for private, money lenders to kind of think about how money could work for you, right? And not you work for the money, right? So passive investing is where your money works for you without the sweat equity, right? Not being able to get up and say, oh my God, I got to take care of this. I got to clean toilets. Right? Joel and I will take care of that. You don't have to worry about that, right? So we'll show you how you put your money to work as a private money lender, right? So that's providing a solution. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just wanted to think about that, okay? Wanted you guys to think about that. So this is, shout out to Amy, one of my mentors, and Julius. I didn't realize he was in the room, right? So this is an example of a private lending process overview, right, on a single family home, and I'll discuss the multifamily in a minute, right? So the person or individual receives in this case, receives the pitch deck or packet deck, right? The lender, private money lender, receives the documents securing the loan. The private lender receives the funds. The property is then purchased. Then it's renovated, then it's sold. Then the lender at that point receives their principal plus interest, and then you repeat the process over and over again, right? So lenders, bring speed and efficiency to our transactions, right? Because can we use our money? Probably, yeah, of course. Can we use the bank's money? Yeah, but you know how that is, right? You need appraisals, and it takes months and months and months, right? So the beauty of the private lending is you bypass that whole thing, right? So and you're able to close quickly, right? That's how, for example, what we're doing in Florida, it's relatively been a quick process for the most part. I've been quarterbacking that, and Joel knows that, right? So that's a little bit about how private money helps our clients, right? So this is Joel and I's more of our strategy, buy and hold. So, for example, the one in Florida, and hopefully future ones in Florida, and even outside of here. So we're looking to buy and hold in our case, right? Because what we're looking to do is two things: build equity and build cash flow, and of course pay back our investors, right? So for example, the one deal in Florida, we're almost at, we could say almost at this stage right here, looking for a couple additional investors, right? So what we're doing, where we're at right now is there's due diligence period in regards to making sure that the property doesn't have any liens or lawsuits or anything like that, right? So process is the same, we're building rapport. There's a commitment of some kind. The offer is accepted, submitted, accepted. We notified our network, right? I know for SEC reasons we don't email blast, right? Especially when you're accredited versus unaccredited. We identify private money lenders. It's protected, secured, insured with loan documents. The private money lender wires the money. Then we close on the property. We make some renovations. The renovation's complete. We would rent the property, or in this case, rent the apartment. In case what we're doing, we'll cash out refi. In this case, it's a subject to. It's a little bit different. For the most part, it's a cash out refi, and then we will fund the funds are wired to the PML. Properties then held, and then there's a possibility of a JV, and then doing the process over and over again. So this is Joel and I's almost exact process to a T, with the exception of it's a multifamily and not necessarily a single family, right? So this is our process from start to finish, and how we're able to provide individuals with double-digit returns backed by real estate, right? So again, it's all about being able to build that rapport. You guys are killing it here tonight. It's a nice night here in New Jersey and in New York. We identify that a private money lender, a commitment, we make an offer, we send out an email blast, or in my case, just emailing folks directly. We identify potential private money lenders. We submit the loan docs. The PML wires the money, and for me, I don't want to keep the money. I usually, Amy, she doesn't mind having an objective business bank account, and the folks to kind of see where the money is. In my case, I'm comfortable. If you're comfortable, just sending it right directly to title, right? Closing on the purchase of the property, we renovate it, we rent it. We're renting apartments out, and then we will pay the individual back plus interest, and then do that process over and over again, right? So I think we're almost close to one, and then it's a matter of doing it over and over again until I retire, right? So that's buy and hold process.
Are you looking to take your professional network to new heights? Do you want to connect with influential individuals, open doors to exciting opportunities, and accelerate your career growth? Look no further. Introducing our groundbreaking online course on networking mastery, Transforming Your Way to Success. It's an 8-week course It'll transform you from a novice to a guru. You'll learn the elevator pitch. You'll learn the Formea method. You will learn exactly how to identify leads and being able to leverage your network to network your way to success. Please go to BorjaConsultingGroup.com. That's BorjaConsultingGroup.com for more information about transforming your way to success.
So again, why is the private lending so desirable, right? So what's in it for you, right? So your investment is secured, protected, secured, insured by real estate, high return on your money, better than the stock market and better than the stock market, a predictable income stream, right? Knowing that you're getting your money back plus interest. There's no management costs associated, right? There's no headaches managing the contractors. That's my job and Joel's job. And it's a win-win for both the lender and the borrower, right? So it's important for you to benefit, from investing your capital, right? So real estate mortgage, deed or trust, and promissory note provides you with the security investment, not able to be obtained with any other documents, right? So it's pretty cool. So that's why it's so desirable in order to invest in real estate, right? So a couple of sources of private money, and this is shout out to Amy. This is directly from what I'm using. 90% is from her mentorship. You could use dead money or an existing 401k or self-directed IRA or solo 401k. There's also HELOCs that maybe there's an opportunity to put that money to work. You have it sitting in equity. Why not put it to work, right? Somewhere. Could be a trust fund of some sort. A personal savings account, which could be maybe making 1% or 2%, right? Personal business line of credit, sometimes some type of inheritance, life insurance, a health and savings account, or any personal and business credit card, and of course stocks, right? These are the 10 sources of private money, right? You don't have to necessarily use your cash, but you never know, especially for those that bounce around from job to job. You could be having opportunities in a 401k that's dead and not collecting anything, or you could have a life insurance policy that you had for a very long time, and for whatever reason you have a cash value, and why not use some of that cash value and invest it, right? And invest it in a deal, right? So you have self-directed IRAs and solo 401ks. Julius and Caesar also on the line. Shout out to you guys. We work with self-directed IRA. I think Matt Sorensen, I think is his name. So if you're interested in transferring that over, especially if you're a business owner, I'm more than happy to point you in the right direction with that, right? So these are some of your 10 sources of private money, right? So I know it cuts off there. All right. Cool. These are just some examples of, obviously, this is an example, not the official one, an example of a promissory note, an example of a recorded deed. Again, the investment will be protected, secured, and insured. Protected, secured, and insured with a promissory note, deed, and of course, you'll be part of the builder's risk insurance policy. So we can't walk away with any investment, without your consent, right? So a little bit about that. The common private lenders that fund the deal is usually cash, or as I mentioned before, HELOCs, lines of credit, retirement accounts, especially for those that are sitting in a dead 401k. What I mean by dead is like you moved on 2 or 3 jobs ago and it's still there. And also any securities or investments that you're looking to perhaps liquidate, right? But just talk to your accountant to see how would that impact your capital gains, or I could talk to you. I could point you in the right direction as far as how to do that by minimizing the tax burden as much as possible, right? So good. I hope you learned a couple of new tricks and trades, and hopefully this was helpful to all you guys. So how can you get started, right? So now that you heard, damn, Dr. B's right. Us versus them? Oh my God. Who's to blame? I got FOMO, right? Should I trust Dr. B? Of course you trust Dr. B, right? If you haven't done already, if you haven't connected with me in regards to having an opportunity to understand your goals, because some folks may want to invest actively. Maybe you want to be a GP, or maybe a LP, right? Maybe you want to invest passively, right? So what are your goals, right? Is it you want to, is it cash flow? Is it, fix and flip down the road? Maybe is it multifamily? Is it hotels? Is it notes? So maybe, let's sit down. Let's sit down and see how we could help. And maybe you may not know private money lenders, but if you introduce us to a private money lender, I know Joel and I, we're happy to have compensate you with some sort of finder's fee or something like that, right? So more than happy to help you out with that, right? So trust me, I would not, we would take care of you, right, Joel? And I'm pretty sure we will. So that's how you get started, right? So now that I've been able to educate you as far as the foreclosures and the rat race and us versus them and who to blame, right? It's important to now think about, all right, what is that next step, right? So again, quick disclosure, we don't guarantee any returns, right? So obviously it's a investment, right? We don't pool investors' funds, and for more information, check out sec.gov, right? So what do you have to lose, right? So you can think about three things. So number one, you do nothing and stay exactly where you're at right now, right? And you guys could be investing already. That's awesome. Or you could be investing passively. That's awesome, right? You could do nothing, right? And at least you've learned something in the past, 30, 40 minutes, right? Or you could try to do it yourself. That's cool as well, right? You could struggle and like I did for a couple of years until I found Joel, and then eventually found my my two mentors, right? Amy Majuri, shout out to her. Shout out to Sean McNichols. I actually still use the sales and negotiation tactics today. And I shout out to Mike Ely and Mika Woody as well from Big Deal Maker, right? You can do it yourself, or let me do the heavy lifting for you, right? Let Joel and I do, let us do the heavy lifting for you, right? So basically, we'll take care of the vetting. We'll let you know, and we have a great underwriting process. I have a very resourceful team, resourceful spreadsheet that does not fail me. And I look at other variables like crime rates and demographics and geographics as far as location wise. So let us do the heavy lifting for you, right? So you have three options, right? So do nothing. Well, that's fine. Have a great night. You can do it yourself. Good luck. I just spoke to someone this morning or yesterday morning saying, hey, I've been trying to do it myself, but the broker never got back to me. I know, trust me, I've been there. Or let us do the heavy lifting, right? And Caesar knows, and Julius knows. There's different ways for us to research properties and through our networks, able to identify those distressed properties or that are foreclosed or pre-foreclosure or even just unhappy landlords, right? And let me do the heavy lifting for you, right? Why give yourselves an extra headache when Joel and I could do the heavy lifting for you, right? So hopefully you guys will understand that and with option 3. And with that being said, I appreciate your time. So Daniela, what do you think?
This was great. We do have one question
Sure.
from Nadia. Is that how long does the full process usually take?
Thank you. It depends on the deal, right? So, for example, this specific deal that we were talking about, Florida, it's a quick turnaround. We anticipate we're going to give double digit returns, backed by the deal, and obviously the collateral is the property. But and we say a year, but trust me, it's like a 3 to 6 month turnaround for that deal. So for that specific deal, it all depends on the deal, right? And for other deals, it's a 5-year hold, and there's different. I didn't even get into like syndication; that's a whole separate class where it's a longer holding period. But for what we're doing is it's a quicker turnaround in the process. Cool. Is there a minimum to be able to qualify? All depends on the deal. Some deals you have to be an accredited investor, meaning that you either have to make 200 grand consistently for about 2 years, and a married couple $300K. But other deals there's unaccredited, right? So 506B, I believe you don't have to be accredited. In 506C, I believe you do. I believe so. So that's the minimum to qualify. Some deals is not accredited, and those are you don't have to. And the ones that are accredited are the ones that you do have to that definition I gave you, 200K or 300K is a married couple, or have a net value of $1 million. So I hope that answers your question, Nadia. Good questions, very good. I like it. Me like it. Any other questions? Do you do touristic real estate investments abroad, such as Airbnb properties? Oh, Thank you, Caesar. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're looking to do that in Dominican Republic at the moment. But not Airbnb, more of a traditional hotel. But that's something for me to think about down the road. I don't specifically. I don't do Airbnbs abroad, but we are looking at a hotel. We do have a hotel in DR, and we're looking to. We'll know more information about that soon. When it close, we're just looking to. There's a couple paperwork that we can still got to take care of. So, thanks, Caesar. Thanks for that question. Any other questions? No? Daniela, are we
No,
good?
on the
No?
chat either.
Nothing in the chat? No? Let's see. Who can I wait, is Joel, you still here? Let's see. I'm gonna allow Joel to talk. Where's Joel? Where are you, friend? Hey Joel.
I am here. How's it going, buddy?
Good, man. So good. Did you enjoy the presentation? We never technically rehearsed it, but,
Yeah,
I'm
but
glad you trusted.
great presentation. I love the question, especially the question about the Airbnb. I think that Airbnb is here to stay. That's the
Yeah,
future. I think that the advantage is going to be what can you provide the consumer, and what I mean by that is that what are the amenities,
yeah,
where's your location. And in fact, actually, one of the things that I've been looking at is that you associate vacations with just maybe going to the beach or going to a lake or going to the mountains. I'm actually seeing right now how that market has shifted, and you're seeing people doing Airbnbs all over the place. When I mean
yeah,
all over the place, I'm talking in the mountains and
yeah,
deserts, and the possibilities are endless with Airbnb. And in fact, I'm actually seeing hotels jump on that bandwagon as
yeah,
well, since
yeah,
you and I are in that hotel in DR,
yeah,
and that is something that's become very popular. So as you start thinking about investment, Airbnb, you just cannot go wrong with that.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, you
absolutely.
just cannot go wrong.
Yeah,
So yeah, great information, and I think that if anyone wants to talk individually, we'd be more than happy to do so.
yeah, yeah. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate it. Joel just lets me quarterback everything, right, Joel?
Yeah.
All good. You the man. You the man. Good, good. Any other
Thanks,
questions?
brother.
Oh, no, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Did you enjoy the presentation? Let's get some positive comments. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you, Joel. Give me some comments. Very helpful. Thank you, Nadia. Appreciate it. Any other comments? Hey, Cindy. Nice to see you. I gave you a shout out, Cindy. I don't know if you heard that earlier. Any other
I
comments?
think I think I think a good question to ask is uh fears. I mean, everybody has fears to invest, and I
Yeah,
think that's one of the things that stifles our population,
sure, sure.
our people. It stifles us because we have that inherent fear
Yeah,
of parting ways or thinking that things aren't going to go well. We also come up with perceived notions because other people have experienced
yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely a lot of fear. Yeah, it's always a
surprises.
yeah, 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 absolutely. I'm getting positive comments. Caesar, very informative. Newton, thank you, Newton. Thank you for the presentation. Anita, thank you. Freddie, remember Freddie, a guy from B Dubs. Remember Joel? He is amped. All right, good man. I'm amped with you. I am amped with you. Nadia, great seeing you. Caesar, thanks, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the support. Anyone else? I'm getting a lot of positives, so thank you, everybody. So thank you, everybody. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So thank you, everybody. So yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to I'll send everyone out the recording. Maybe some folks it takes like me, I have to listen to it 2 or 3 times before it all depends on the individual, right? So we will send the recording. I'll actually send you the slide, the PDF version of the slides, and as Joel mentioned, we'd love to chat with some of you guys if you was interested in in connecting and partnering. So this is awesome, cool. So Daniela, I think we're good, right?
Yes, there is a question from Sylvia. Very informative. I've done flips before. Do you find properties through county action?
I assume it's through like the county sites. Yeah, we've looked for stuff through that as well. It happens to be that this deal in Florida happens to be through a commercial broker. But yeah, we take a look through the county as well. Thank you, Sylvia. I appreciate it. I kind of strong arm Sylvia too. I was like, hey, come. Excellent. Any other questions? This is good. I could do this all day, but I know you guys got to go. Any other question? Yes, Cindy, no problem. We will send you the recording as well. Thanks, Cindy. Thank you for your support. I also, Cindy, appreciate our conversation earlier this week, and thanks for the feedback. So cool. Awesome. Thanks. All right, guys. So if there's no any other questions, oh, good. All right, you will call me. You need a mentor? Hey, I'm here to mentor, right, Joel? We could partner in any way, shape, or form. So all good.
That's right.
Sounds
and don't
good.
forget about our dinner that we want to have in July. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna also have a nice dinner, and we'll send you more information about that when available. Right. So awesome. So thank you guys. Yeah, give me a shout. We will send the recording, the PDF of what I just used, and I will set up send a follow-up email with some information to connect afterwards. So I already see a couple of nice conversations that we could definitely have. All right, guys. So thank you for your time. I don't think I have any other questions. Thank you, Joel. Thank you, Daniela. Thank you to my RPM folks and Big Deal Maker. Joel, anything else you want to say?
No, thank you everyone for joining, and we're here to just, even if it's via soundboard or even if it's just provide feedback. You don't have to be an investor. Sometimes having these relationships go a long way, and if we can steer you in the right direction, don't worry about it. We will be there to help as much as we can.
Yep, exactly. Thank you, Joel. Thanks, everybody. Sounds good. Thank you, Joel. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night, and you'll get it soon. Thanks. Have a great night. Thank you, Daniela. Thanks.
Bye.
Man. Bye. Take care. Good night. Hi, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that flying solo, I was going to call myself Solo Sokoa, episode of the Dr. B Show. And I hope you enjoyed the investing passively in real estate episode. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Till next time.